Hello, this is Yo-Yo. Today we talk about Chinese Genesis mythology.
And this is Real TVW.
The universe is like an egg at the beginning, and there's two opposite forces called yin and yang scrambled together in the egg. And there's a guy, his name is Pangu, was conceived in the egg.
Pangu?
Pangu.
Mm.
Pangu.
Pan means bread in Japanese.
It's just the pronunciation. It have no meaning.
Oh, okay.
So, Pangu was conceived in the egg for 18,000 years. Pangu awaked in the egg. So he used an axe, chopped the egg open.
Where'd the axe come from?
They're just an axe. You got the egg somewhere. I don't know.
There's an egg universe with yin and yang.
Eggs.
There's an egg universe with yin and yang. There's a entity called Pangu.
Pangu.
He wakes up 18,000 years after he gets created with an axe.
He just have an axe.
Okay, no, I'm just making sure I understand. Okay. Go ahead.
He used an axe, chopped the egg. After the egg opened, the yin and yang separated.
Yin and yang?
Yin and yang is two opposite forces in the egg. After Pangu chopped the egg open, yang rose up.
Okay.
Forced the heaven, because yang is the part has lighter weight.
Lightweight. So yin is hell.
Yin is the part heavy, dark and heavy. So yin sank down.
Is yin evil?
Yin is not evil. It's just two part like the elements in Chinese mythology formed the universe.
Well, what's the point of heaven? You mean just the sky, not like a place, heaven, you go when you die.
It's everything like outside the earth.
Okay.
It's like the sky. You can think it's the sky. Where am I? After the yin and yang separated, he was worried the sky will collapse and go back together with the earth. He stood on the earth and used his arm to hold the sky for another 18,000 years.
18,000. Why?
18,000 years. I don't know reason. Just a general number.
It took him 18,000 years to form. He holds the sky for 18,000 years.
Yes, so the sky became stable.
What else is 18,000 years? Is there?
That's it. And then Pangu was so tired after he finished this. So he finally lay down and died.
Died?
He died on the earth.
What?
He died.
He didn't rest.
He didn't rest. He keep holding the sky for 18,000 years, and he was too tired, and he fell down and died.
He's a god. He should be able to hold it up. He's so weak, huh? Okay, go ahead.
And then after he died, his body become mountain, river, and everything, the nature on the earth.
Oh.
And his two eyes became moon and sun.
Sun and moon?
Sun and moon.
Or moon and sun? Which one's more important in Chinese culture, moon or sun?
Both important. That is the story of Pangu created the earth. And after he created earth, the sky was held up by 4 large pillars. Now here is nature on the earth. but there's no.
Wait. So nature is yin or yang?
This is about Chinese philosophy. In everything, there's part yin, part yang. But mostly the sky is yang compared to the earth. Okay, after this, there's another female god. Her name is 女娲.
Where'd she come from?
She's from, we don't know, she's from the heaven, somewhere in the sky.
Do gods just form inside of yin? Is yin?
I will talk this later. 女娲 has human face. She has a snake tail.
She has an upper body of a human and a lower body of a snake.
Yes.
Okay.
So 女娲 is a half human, half snake.
So wait, there's a woman and a snake, and then in the Christians, they got a woman talks to a snake to make evil. Nuwa's gonna make evil things?
No, 女娲 is hero.
Oh. Wait, there's a female hero in Chinese mythology.
Yes,
But
女娲 is female hero.
But in Western mythology, women are no good.
In Chinese mythology, human is made by this female god, half snake.
That's really interesting.
And she has a husband, is her twin brother, also has a human face and a snake tail. His name is Fu Xi. Can you say?
Fu Xi.
Yes. One day, 女娲 came to Earth. She walked on the earth and she felt lonely. So she used the clay, made chicken and sheep as her company. But soon she felt bored with those animals. When 女娲 saw her reflection in the river, she suddenly got inspired to make the creator's creations look like herself. 女娲 used hand to form the clay to make humans. Until she was tired, she started to use a rope dip into the mud and then swing the rope to form blobs around her, and then use hand to form the blobs into human. So it said the ones shaped by her hand became the noble people. The ones shaped by the blobs became working class. There is also a great flood in Chinese mythology. Until now, the earth was separated from the sky by 4 huge pillars. One day the god of water, his name is Gonggong, and the god of fire, his name is Zhurong, had a massive battle to determine who is the ruler of the heaven. Finally, Gonggong failed. He was so angered, so he smashed his head into one of the pillars. His name is Buzhou Mountain. As the Buzhou Mountain collapsed, there was a hole ripped on the sky. In Chinese mythology, the Milky Way is a river on the sky. So the water in the river pour onto the earth through the hole. Human was suffered in this great flood. 女娲 doesn't want to see human all died in the flood, so she tried to fix the heaven. 女娲 cut off the legs of the sky turtle to replace the broken pillar.
Why was there a turtle in the sky?
It's from somewhere of the universe. Maybe it's alien.
What's it supposed to do?
It just live in the universe.
The Greek have a mythology where the turtle walks in the universe and the earth is on top of the turtle.
女娲 melted 5-color stones, fixed the hole on the sky.
Then why does she need the turtle legs?
She need the turtle legs to hold the sky, because the pillar collapsed. There's no pillar.
So I think that the Great Flood myth is common across most of the human cultures because people always live near water, whether it's the river or the ocean. So I think that floods destroyed a lot of early civilizations, killing the people and destroying their homes, making them flow away from the water. And people further inland said, oh look, a great flood from God destroyed those people. And over thousands of years, when we start writing history, they have the memory of those ancient civilizations. I think that's why China has a flood myth, Christians have a flood myth, etc., etc. Flood myths are everywhere.
Somebody think the like old books in China wrote the story happened in Egypt.
Go back to humans when they only wore fur and lived in caves. Anything that's a story becomes more powerful than today when we have so many stories. When you don't have that many stories to tell, the ones that come become more powerful. So I'm even more convinced now from what you're saying that there were just a few main floods in certain areas and those became globally impactful because the word traveled over probably 1,000 years, and eventually that becomes the mythology for everybody. Because if you look at the history of humans from Africa, all the lands are connected. They were traveling, they eventually went everywhere. So I feel like the flood happened in Egypt and then it became mythology in China because the story traveled there.
So the like Chinese ancestors they adopted the story they remember from Egypt. It's possible. 女娲 holding sextant and her husband Fuxi holding a ruler. Fuxi invented ruler.
So Nuwa made all the humans and stopped the flood, and Fuxi just made a ruler. That's all he did? He was a lot of sleep.
In old time, women do more things than men.
He's just sleeping a lot, huh? He's resting.
He's supporting his wife. He's a good husband, helping his wife. There's another mythology described human have snake gods. In the group of people called Dogon
of Mali in West Africa.
They said one day there's two gods came to Earth from the universe. One is male and one is female, and they are twins. They are twins, brother, sister, and they are also husband and wife. Those gods look like human. They have human face, and their body look like a snake or lizard. They're living on both water and land.
Maybe the two Dogon gods and the two Chinese gods were actually aliens from space, and they came down to help humans get started.
Dogon people said those half snake, half human gods from Sirius, from a star called Sirius. You know Sirius, right?
Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky.
The Dogon people already know there's a second star in Sirius, like 1,000 years ago.
That's true. The Sirius is a binary star system, orbits each other. Today we learned about Chinese mythology. We learned about the creation of the heavens and the earth, the yin and yang. We learned about the man who cracked the egg with the axe. We learned about the half human, half snake gods who created people and measurements, right? And we also discussed some ideas about how origins around the world were influenced by actual events that traveled by word of mouth and became the actual mythology of local peoples, which I personally believe has to be true, or will ultimately be proven to be true. What do you think?
There's aliens fighting each other like thousands of years ago, and humans saw that and wrote it down.
That's what the Indians say in the Mahabharata.